Welcome to Partnerships Powering Bharat, Driving AI-led Industry Transformation, a series brought to you by ETCIO in association with IBM. The series is a reflection of a larger movement, one where collective expertise powers progress, strengthens industries, and helps shape a smarter, more resilient Bharat because lasting transformation is never powered alone, it is powered by partnerships. The Partnerships Powering Bharat series explores how IBM is enabling transformation at scale across India Inc. and fulfilling the vision of Digital Bharat by strengthening partnership collaboration through co creation, co innovation, and co delivery. Taking forward part one of this episode, where we explored the Wave Group's transformation journey, in this part two, we will delve into the shift towards ecosystem led transformation and how partnerships are key to AI led transformation for enterprises. Joining me for this discussion are Vishal Mantoo, CEO, Gadiel Technologies, and Yukti Punjabi, Director, Ecosystems Technology Sales, IBM India and South Asia. So, welcome, Yukti and Vishal. Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to have both of you.
Thank you, Shipra. It's a pleasure being here with you. And hi, Vishal.
Thanks for inviting us. Thanks.
So, Yukti, let me start with you. So, we are seeing a distinct shift towards ecosystem-led transformation. So, what is driving this shift, and why are partners becoming central to the way organizations today innovate and scale?
Okay, so Shipra, the answer is really simple. The shift is being driven by simple reality, and that's complexity. As you see the markets and the businesses, the way they are evolving, and especially in this era of AI-led transformations, digital transformations, the choice of multiple clouds, security challenges. So there's no one single organizations that will have all the answers. So that means that we are seeing that shift and the move from linear supply chains to really integrated ecosystem. And this is primarily actually for three reasons, right? One is speed to market, which is basically time to market. The CEOs really want to move fast, but they also want to have stability. They don't want to break things. So the partnerships really allow you to kind of, the existing partnerships allow you to plug into existing capabilities without really breaking things and scaling it up. Second is in terms of the skills arbitrage. The gap that is there really in the gap that needs to be bridged with the AI talent and the skills that is needed. The ecosystem, the vast ecosystems gives you access to specialized domain knowledge. And third is really the scale, when we say that we truly want to empower the smarter Bharat, right? So a solution that is needed in the Mumbai boardroom is also needed in a tier 2 and a tier 3 city. Hence, it's extremely important to have a very robust, localized ecosystem. And that, these are the changing dynamics that are really driving the changes in the transformation in the ecosystem.
So, speaking of ecosystem-led transformation, IBM has been advocating this for a long time now. So, how are you at IBM reimagining the role of the partners, and especially when it comes to really complex transformations in today's AI-led business landscape?
So, I would say that really partners are the extension of IBM or the extended arm of IBM, and the last mile of trust that connects us with the clients. And if you'd see, Shipra, the way AI is fundamentally shifting the way clients are building, buying, and adopting technology. So in that process and with the complex ecosystem, what happens is that partners become central to the way clients really realize the value. Now, what that means is basically bringing together the larger ecosystem, the combination of resellers, system integrators, consultancies, ISVs, where they work together in terms of, and they play a really distinct role, but towards a common approach. Now basically what happens, how do these two work together? IBM brings in the fundamental technology, like a watsonx platform, hybrid cloud infrastructure, automation portfolio. And the partners truly bring in that specialized, sector-specific, industry-specific solutions, which they are connected with their clients. They are the ones who truly know what are the challenges and the problems that our clients are facing. It could be the nuances of the compliance, the local compliance that the bank needs, or it could be the challenges that we are solving for the manufacturing shop floor problems, or a real estate client or the large conglomerate. So they truly bring in that sector-specific, industry-specific solutions, or the larger startup ecosystem of India, right, which basically who are leading with the AI use cases, and we work with them in terms of embedding our AI platform. So there are different ways and dimensions of the way the partnerships are getting redefined. Now, there's another dimension, if you'll see our recent announcement with IBM and Airtel Cloud partnership, which basically brings together the Airtel's telco-grade security, reliable data center and data residency with IBM AI and hybrid cloud technologies. That's a great example. Another example of how really partner landscape is changing is our deepening ties with hyperscalers, with like your AWS, Microsoft Azure, where we give client a choice of how they want to deploy and from how they want to source the technologies. So the IBM software offerings are available on those hyperscaler marketplace. So these are the classic examples of how IBM and partners work together to really bring the value to the clients.
Great. So Vishal, Yukti spoke about the ecosystem-led transformation. So as a partner for you, what does it really mean to be a part of the transformation ecosystem rather than just being a technology implementer? And especially since you work very closely with the clients, have you seen any changes in the expectations from the clients also?
Yes, definitely there is a huge change in the mindset of a client. Earlier, it was only about implementing a solution, but nowadays, clients are more looking towards the partners who are strategically connected to them, understand their business needs, understand their pain areas, and then co-create a solution which helps in resolving their business issues.
Yeah. So Gadiel Technologies has been a partner of IBM for several years. So from your experience, how has your role evolved within the IBM partnership ecosystem?
Well, as I mentioned earlier also, co-creation is something which, is taking us forward with the IBM in the ecosystem as well. Because even if for a small, business understanding with a customer, we always have a support of IBM technical team with us. So whenever we derive a solution for our customer, it is vetted and design is architected by IBM itself. So co-creation is something which goes with this ecosystem.
Yukti, now we have spoken about the importance of ecosystem-led transformation. So while it sounds great in theory, for it to work in practice, there are a lot of challenges. So one is that what are those challenges and what are the different elements that need to come together for this ecosystem-led transformation to work? And especially from an IBM perspective, if you can also talk about how you are driving co-creation and co-innovation with your partners.
Sure. So Shipra, what I would say is a high-performance ecosystem really is built on 3 guiding principles, and that's what the partners look for. And I would say one is simplification, which enables really the partners for how do we enable ease of doing business for them with IBM. Second is collaboration, and third is outcome. What are the outcomes together with the partners that we are driving, right? And based on these 3 principles, then we work with the partners the way partners want to work with IBM and IBM technology. And this could be in various different ways, right? In various different motions. Like, for example, we have a very high focus on our growth segment, which is predominantly our product-led resell business, and with the partner-first philosophy that we approach totally. Number 2 is basically deepening our partnerships with the large system integrators, consultancies to drive really the complex projects. Third is the ISVs, right? The ISVs who are truly building world-class AI-first solutions which are embedded by the IBM AI platform. So they come to us where they embed our technology to develop advanced software. Fourth is basically our strategic partnerships with the hyperscalers like AWS and Microsoft. So there are different ways in which we kind of, we work with the partners, or partners work with us really, which is meaningful for the clients. Now, That is one. And how do we really enable all these motions, right, for the partners? This focus is underpinned by our world-class Partner Plus program. What that means is that it is really truly enables the partners, and we make it easy through a unified portal where partners have one-stop access to do the complete business processes, their expertise, driving the expertise, technical resources. So we make it easy for them through a unified portal and giving them a really seamless experience so that we enable them the speed to the market that they can go back to their clients, right? So they have that access to the same technical expertise. Our teams, our client, and as Vishal pointed out, right? So we have our IBM ecosystem engineering and advocacy teams who work closely with their partners to support all these motions and enable them with the technical expertise that is required for them to drive the outcomes with the clients. So these are a couple of examples which really kind of a powerful program that really enables a very high-performing ecosystem.
Yeah. So how does this program work in terms of ensuring that you keep your partners up to date when it comes to all the technology advancements and they're truly proficient with all the technologies?
So Shipra, I would say that it's our skin in the game equally, right? Earlier it used to be a transaction. It's no more the transaction. It's a shared investment with the partners. Now, what that means is basically equal access to the technology, to the training, to the technical expertise, to the resources, right? What we have access to our internal IBMers is the same access to the technology, to the software, that equal access is given to the partners. As I said, right, they are our extension and they have equal access to the technology and the technical expertise. We work with them at every step. It could be the POC, it could be the resources that they need to drive the client outcomes, or it could be the co-marketing investment. So at every step, we have skin in the game with our partners to drive the outcomes that they need for the clients. So that's what I would say that, and the focus is, right, and the focus is really in terms of co-creation of the solution, which basically combines the partners' expertise, domain knowledge, their understanding of the problem, and combining that with our technology and the resources that we enable partners with.
So talking of co-creation and co-innovation, can you tell us about how this collaboration with IBM works in practice? And what is it that makes this partnership with IBM truly effective, especially when you're dealing with client engagements?
Well, to be honest enough with you, it starts from the day one itself. It starts from the boardroom itself. Whenever we meet a client, it's not only the partner who's meeting the client or the IBM team who's meeting the client. It's both together meeting the client, understanding the business, designing the solution, and then defining the solution to the customer, which is very critical. Because once you define the solution to the customer, he should agree by it. Once he agrees by it, then it goes to the deployment phase. Once you reach to the deployment phase, you are very clear about your role in the implementation and the ownership. Both parties take equal ownership. Onus is both on both partner as well as on the IBM to make it a successful deployment.
So Vishal, talking of co-creation and taking it a step further, how do you co-create solutions for your clients rather than just deploying them? And also, if you can just share some recent example, you had a project where you helped the Wave Group transition from a fragmented enterprise to a truly orchestrated AI-led transformation.
Well, in Wave Group project, we conducted a series of technical workshops, held multiple discussions with multiple stakeholders across the businesses, understood their businesses, as Wave is not only in one segment, they are in multi-segment. They are a very huge company with different divisions, different business units. So we had to understand each business and try to, apply a solution which covers their entire group.
So outcomes is one of the biggest proof points of the ecosystem's value. So as partnerships become more outcome driven, how are you ensuring that your partner ecosystem stays aligned with consistent and measurable business outcomes for the clients?
Yeah, absolutely. So Shipra, what happens is now we have moved our goalpost really from activity or the training to really outcome-based approach. What that means is truly we are leading with our partners with the real use case. With the real use case in terms of, it could be, for example, HR transformation from hire to retire, or supply chain optimization, and which is linked to the measurable ROI and the KPIs. And then we work very closely with our partners to ensure that we deliver the outcomes. And we use a tri-party approach really in terms of our customer success organizations work closely with the partner, right? So it's a three-way feedback loop: client, partner, and IBM, to ensure that we are delivering the KPIs that we have promised to the client, we are delivering the ROIs that has been promised, the productivity that we have promised through the use cases. And that's what really makes it in terms of, even for the client, right? How are we landing the technology? How are we landing the use cases? And then once we land, we prove the ROI, then it gives the opportunity for IBM and partner to really scale the solutions to the different departments, different functions, right? So it's land, expand, lead by use cases, and really supported by a very strong collaboration between IBM and the partners to deliver those outcomes.
So talking of business outcomes, and that is the most important factor for your clients as well. So what difference does an ecosystem-led approach have on business impact? And also, especially if you can refer to the case study that you spoke about, the Wave Group. Did an ecosystem-led approach help in bringing about stronger and faster outcomes as opposed to not having an ecosystem-led approach?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier also, co-creation is something which, is a byproduct of this ecosystem. And if in context of Wave Group, if you ask me, this co-creation helped us, to speed up the implementation, which was supposed to happen by 9 months. We completed it in 4 months, just because of the two teams working in tandem.
Yeah. So Vishal, on to you. As the future unfolds, we are seeing that the partners ecosystem will need to evolve continuously alongside. So how are you building those capabilities inside your organization? How are you preparing your organization to stay relevant and competitive in this evolving landscape?
We are preparing by continuously investing in our people and in people and capabilities of our people, specifically in AI specific domain, which are domain specific. And compared to last year, our team size has increased by 3-folds, which itself says how much we are investing in the capabilities of our team.
So Yukti, as we wrap up, what does the future generation of partnership ecosystems look like, and how are these ecosystems going to evolve to support more AI-led and autonomous enterprises?
So I would say the future is really AI native and autonomous. What that means, and we see three really major shifts happening. One is, right, the agentic partner, agentic AI, agentic partner ecosystem, where partners are not only building the apps or building the agents, they will truly build the AI agents that will cut across and bring together multiple platforms. Second is the industrialized clouds, really, in terms of which will solve the problem of sector specific. It could be agri-tech, healthcare, government, the different really industry specific. Third is really democratizing the innovation. That means that, going to the tier 2, tier 3, even the smallest of startups in the tier 2 cities is basically able to kind of co-create solutions, use the LLMs and create the AI-led use cases. So what I would say is that the future of, the digital economy is not only will truly be shaped not only by what LLMs or algorithms, but really truly who is the trusted, interconnected and autonomous ecosystem. Really, and that's the engine which will be a true force multiplier, which will convert the technology into a compounded growth for the clients and for the India in turn.
Right, absolutely. Vishal, as the future unfolds, the partners will also need to evolve continuously alongside. So what capabilities are you building internally within your organization? How are you preparing your organization to stay relevant and competitive in this evolving landscape?
Our goal is to build a strong pool of domain-specific experts who can, do consulting, designing, and implementation across the portfolio of IBM products we have with us.
Thank you so much, Yukti and Vishal, for taking us through the importance of partnerships and what ecosystem-led transformation truly looks like. As we look ahead, ecosystems will only become more critical as technologies like AI, data, and automation continue to evolve. One thing is very clear, that transformation at scale is not driven by technology alone, but by partnerships, because lasting transformation is never powered alone. It is powered by collaboration, shared vision, and collective impact. Thank you so much for watching Partnerships Powering Bharat.